I'm finished. This world will never forget.
We have never faced a threat like this. A team is being assembled. We are the best in the world.
I want in.
Mission is a go.
Here they come.
When all else fails, we don't.
G.I. Joe.
Real American heroes.
Go, go, go!
Hey YouTubers, Hankster here, and welcome to video number 2 of my special review series of the upcoming G.I. Joe Retaliation movie starring The Rock, which comes out this Friday to a theater near you. And for video number 2, we're going to focus on the first live-action G.I. Joe movie, G.I. Joe: The Rise of Cobra, starring Channing Tatum, Marlon Wayans, Sienna Miller, Dennis Quaid, Christopher Ellison, a.k.a. the Ninth Doctor from Doctor Who. Let's see. Rachel Nichols, Jonathan Pryce, and Ray Parks, a.k.a. Darth Maul from Star Wars, as Snake Eyes. Now, of course, this movie, of course, as I said, did originally come out in 2009, and it is, of course, directly connected to the new movie that's coming out. The new movie is not a reboot, and I do definitely suggest you see this movie. If you have not seen this yet and you want to go see Retaliation, you better check this movie. You're going to be wondering what the fuck's going on with the new movie. But you should check it out. Now, first thing I want to point out here, Marlon Wayans really stands out as a really good actor in this movie. He, of course, most of the movies I've ever seen him in, or the productions, he's always been playing this sort of dumbass goofball who usually smokes a lot of pot, like in the Scary Movie series and all. But this one, he really stands out as a really good actor, even though he did kind of steal the show with humor. And it is interesting that his character kind of hooks up with Scarlet. You always, if you ever watched the animated series, you kind of think she had a thing for Duke. But this movie kind of switches things around and kind of make things interesting. That Ripcord falls for Scarlet, and I don't blame him. Scarlet's pretty much of a babe in here. Of course, also they did a lot of interesting things with the storyline. Of course, sort of making interesting tie-ins between members of Cobra and members of G.I. Joe. Duke having a past relationship with the woman who became the Baroness. Obviously, the major tie-in, of course, if everybody knows their G.I. Joe history, the conflict between Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow, that was always prevalent in the G.I. Joe storyline. And, of course, the biggest one of all, and I know this is going to be a spoiler for some of you people who have not seen it, but, of course, yes, Cobra Commander is the Baroness's brother. As I said in my previous video, this is another, this is, of course, another turn of realities. In the comic books, he was kind of portrayed as a used car salesman who wanted to conquer the world. In the animated series and movie, he was an emissary from a highly evolved race of beings that came before humans and all that kind of stuff that wanted to conquer the world. But this one, they kind of make him, he's supposed to have been a soldier who gets left for dead, and he kind of goes crazy, and he joins up with a illegal arms dealer, and played by Christopher Ellison, by the way. He, of course, plays the character who becomes Destro. And, of course, everybody knows that he, of course, his best-known role, of course, is that he played the Ninth Doctor in the Doctor Who series. He, of course, played him when the series got renewed a few years ago. Ironically enough, it seems like most of the recent Doctor Who characters turn out to play most of their other notable roles. They play villains. He plays Destro. The David Tennant played Nolly. The 10th Doctor, really, of course, just before that, he was one of the villains in Harry Potter and the not Chamber of Secrets, but Goblet of Fire. So, I'm digressing here. Really suggest you definitely go check out this movie. Check out this movie. It's on DVD and Blu-ray, obviously, and I haven't seen it on Blu-ray, but this is definitely a Blu-ray collectible movie. I mean, obviously because of the special effects, not just the battle scenes and all, but the vehicles, the weapons, and even the extender suits that Duke and Ripcord wear in one segment of the movie, which of course enhances their abilities and makes them run real fast, and they carry these Gatling weapons, and this is really cool. And of course, the notable thing about this movie, obviously, of course, is that they really picked out really attractive women to be in this movie. I mean, the actress who plays the Baroness and the actress who plays Scarlet, really, really good choices there. Not just for their acting ability, but they just looked hot. And I mean, even the poor girl who winds up playing cover girl, who gets killed in the middle of this movie by Zartan. Speaking of which, I forgot his name, but of course, if you recognize him, of course, the guy who plays Zartan, of course, originally played Inhotep in the first two Mummy movies a few years ago, over a decade ago. So a lot of familiar faces, and of course, the guy who plays the president in this movie, who of course returns as the Zartan version of the president. Oops, I gave you another spoiler. Is played by Jonathan Pryce, who, of course, if you remember, played the governor in the first three Pirates of the Caribbean movies. They're familiar. There's a lot of familiar faces in this movie. But a lot of good actors, hot women, and great special effects. Always good chemistry in a movie. And of course, that really egged me on to go see this movie. Obviously, I want to go see the new movie because it's The Rock in it. With The Rock acting in the movie, where can you go wrong? That just adds on to the coolness of the movie. Basically it's kind of an origin story of G.I. Joe. Well, G.I. Joe was already formed, but of Cobra, and it's almost like a soap opera. You're saying the Baroness was Duke's girlfriend, and her brother's Cobra Commander. Oh my God! I mean, you even hear brief mentionings of Dr. Mindbender in this, even though he's not some bald, muscle-bound dude who knows how to build clones, but. It's interesting to see these interesting turn of events. I don't want to get too many spoilers out there. I just want to give you the obvious ones, but you just have to check this movie out. It's definitely one, and it's definitely a definite requirement to see this movie before you go see Retaliation this Friday. And I hope you enjoyed my little review of G.I. Joe: Rise of Cobra. Check out Retaliation this Friday, and we got some more reviews coming up. We got one more review of a G.I. Joe movie that came out about 10 years ago. It's not live action, and it's CGI. It's kind of like a precursor to the current G.I. Joe animated series, which is out now. But check that out. And then after that, we'll be going into my G.I. Joe collection as well. So stay tuned here for more reviews, collectibles, whatnot, and Yo Joe here on the Multiverse. See ya.